picking. I got a name to throw out after you, and I'm going to turn your stomach a little bit. But Chucky Keaton is still the quarterback at Utah State. I think we knew that it was potentially not that great, and then it ended up being. We had a decent season that year, but it was a shock after the national championship year to come back in Utah State to play you off your feet. But Chucky Keaton was one of the main reasons. He is still there. 3,300 yards passing last year, 27 touchdowns, quarterback for that Utah State team. He's one of the dark horses they named, Andy.
I can see that. After watching him play against Auburn and Jordan-Hare that day, he was fantastic. I think he may have been a true freshman when they played Oklahoma the year before, and did so well and almost, pulled the upset on Oklahoma in Norman. So I believe Utah State plays Tennessee early. That could be a big springboard for him. You go in and upset Tennessee and Knoxville. That could start his campaign.
Two SEC quarterbacks that are on this list, Bo Wallace, Matty Malk. Bo Wallace has been serviceable for Ole Miss, but I wouldn't want him as my quarterback. Am I saying that wrong?
No, I don't think that's about right. I look, he like you said, he's very serviceable. He makes some good plays. He makes some great plays on occasion, but he also makes some terrible plays. That throw that he made that Robinson Therese picked off and ran back for a touchdown in the Auburn-Ole Miss game last year, that turned the game around. And that was kind of typical of what he does. He's going in for the winning touchdown against Mississippi State and fumbles. Those kind of things like that, just you can't get past those things. I think he does have a lot of talent, but I would not trust him in the clutch.
888-9-TIGER-9, 334-887-3401. Sportscall AU is where you can find us on Twitter. Jeremy Langford, the running back from Michigan State, is I've looked through 3 different articles, and all 3 have Jeremy Langford, one of the top picks for a dark horse sleeper for the Heisman Trophy next year. And if you see his name on multiple lists like that, I'm not sure you can deem him as a sleeper, Andy.
Yeah, that's probably true. In Big Ten football, obviously they run the football, and that's what Michigan State is all about, running the football and playing defense. So he's going to be the featured back. He's going to get a ton of carries. You're going to see him, every Saturday probably touching the ball at least 25 to 30 times. So he's obviously got some potential. He plays for a great team that has some national exposure. That always helps. That's the one thing probably working against Chucky Mullins there, playing for Utah State. They're not going to get the exposure that he normally would from a big-time school.
Starting to get some content from practice out there, Andy, and a couple of practices for Auburn today. A scrimmage this morning. Looks like it was mainly a running scrimmage. Nick Marshall held out. Jeremy Johnson did get some snaps during this scrimmage, but an interesting take that I saw from some of the sports writers out there talking about the scrimmage this morning. 2 running backs that are in for Auburn. The freshman is what you do in high school. You try to hit the hole as quickly as possible. Don't wait for your blocks to set up, and it looks like Coach Malzahn said that about Rock Thomas and Cameron Petway today.
Yeah, being eager, that's what this is all about for them. They want to impress as much as they can. They want to be want to make this team. I know nobody comes into an Auburn or an Alabama or any SEC school and wanting to redshirt. Sometimes you just get slapped in the face pretty hard, and you understand that's what you have to do. But you come in as a running back. I remember there was a story I think Randy Campbell told, in the first day of practice, Bo Jackson, he was they were in the wishbone, and he turned to hand off, and Bo had already passed him. And he said, look, this guy's lining up too close. And he said, no, he's just that fast. These guys, maybe that's it. Maybe Rock Thomas, his speed is showing up here, and he's hitting the hole a little quicker than they would like.
888-9-TIGER-9, 334-887-3401. Chad Slade held out of practice. Mild concussion. Is that what we're hearing?
That's what the word is. I don't know. Is there, a concussion? How? I guess you can be more severely concussed than others. And obviously, if he's standing on the sideline, he's got his jersey on, he wasn't in pads, they feel, like he's going to be just fine. Devereaux Lawrence and Trevon Reed also held out of the scrimmage. Don't really know, what the problem is, but I think it's just minor bumps and bruises at this point. 2
of the largest shoes to fill on the team this year are going to be the ones in that H-back position. And I think Brandon Fultz is clearly the guy that Auburn's looking to fill that position. Has been more of a pass-catching tight end. I think he has more of a skill set there, but he's going to be leaned on to do a lot more blocking, and he's filling in for an outstanding player for Auburn the past couple of years.
Yeah, we lose Greg Robinson, we lose D Ford, we lose some other guys, but Chris Davis. But I think the guy that maybe we are going to miss the most may be Jay Price. What he did got overlooked so much because he did the dirty work, because he got in there and he mixed it up, and he created holes where there weren't any for Trey Mason. How many times did Trey get 10 yards instead of 5 because of a block he made? How many times did he get 5 yards instead of 0 because of a block he made? So Brandon Foles has a huge responsibility, and he's accepted that. And I'm glad he's talking about it. He says, look, yeah, that's the role that I'm going to play, and I accept it. I'm going to be physical. He left a great legacy, in the weight room and on the field, and that's something that he wants to follow, and I think that's great.
The question does become, can you do more with him now, though? He is more of a pass-catching H-back tight end type. Will we see him with the ball in his hands more often than we saw with Jay Price?
That's a good question. They do say he has much better hands. He obviously is a tight end first, so that definitely you could see them throwing him the football out of the backfield, out of that H-back position a lot more often. The question, what do you do with C.J. Uzomah? He's that H-back tight end type role as well. He's a pretty good blocker himself. What's his role going to be moving forward? Obviously, you want to throw him the ball as much as you can, but Brandon Foles, he definitely could be a guy that surprises people coming out of the backfield in the flat.
888-9-TIGER-9 334-887-3401. As we had our question of the day is who is your dark horse for the Heisman Trophy? The last 6 or 8 years, it has seemed to be a dark horse that not necessarily may have come out of nowhere, but has definitely not been a top 10 contender going into the season for the Heisman Trophy. Who do you believe that player may be in this year's class? I brought up the running back position for Auburn, and I thought it was interesting to hear Coach Malzahn talk about that. He says we have confidence in both guys. Could be a deal where we turn them both loose early and see who establishes themselves. And that's what we saw with Trey Mason. In the Texas A&M game, you knew he needed the ball. It was much like the quarterback position play with Nick Marshall and Jeremy Johnson. Jeremy had some really good games leading up to that, but you just had that feel in your heart that you wanted Nick Marshall in the game when it was down to the crunch time, or at any point in time, really, the way that he played in that football game. And I think that the same may be set for the running back position at some point in time this year.
Yeah, look, Corey Grant, we all think about him as that jet sweep guy. We think about him as the speed guy. But he is 205 pounds, and I think they're going to give him an opportunity to be the every down back. I think it's between him, obviously, and Artis Payne. You throw Peyton Barber in, he's kind of the X factor. Yeah, we don't really know what to expect. We think he's got a lot of talent. We think that he can be a really good, really good running back there. But I think it's the same way it was last year. Cameron Artis Payne came in the season thinking he might have a chance to win that job, but Trey Mason took it over as it went on. I think you'll see the same thing, and it'll be interesting to see who takes the reins there. We're going to go ahead and take our second break. When we come back, hopefully we're going to catch up with Justin Ferguson, the managing editor for the Auburn Plainsman. When we come back, there's more Sports Call to come right after this.
Ever wondered what LNG can do for you? The possibilities are endless.
LNG offers custom apparel and promotional products, any type of signage and vehicle wraps, web design and internet marketing, video production, paper products, and more. Visit us online at leemarketing.net. 3 locations to best serve you: Madison Street in Alexander City, Highway 280 in Dadeville, and Frederick Road in Auburn. LMG, success by design.
It's always something. Your car needs a new tire, tuition is due. It's down to the wire. Cheerleading outfit, soccer shoes, football pass, or annual dues. Nellie's in band. She needs a trombone. Good golly Molly, you need a loan. Jimmy broke his arm. He needs a cast. You need money, and you need it fast. When life comes at you, Always Money can help you through. It's easy, convenient, friendly, and fast. You'll get the cash you need the day you need it. So stop by or visit alwaysmoney.com. How much can we loan you today? Borrowers often use payday loans over a period of months, which can be expensive.
Purchasing a home can sometimes be overwhelming. Instead, it should be an exciting time for you and your family. Hi, I'm Angela Van Houten with Century 21 Lake Area Realty. I want to help you find the home or property that perfectly fits your needs. With over 15 years of experience in real estate, I am proud to serve the Lake Martin and surrounding areas. Call or text me today, 256-596-0566, or find me on the web at angelavanhouten.com and let me help you find the home you've always dreamed of.
When you change the life of a man, you change an entire family. The Reprieve helps men with alcohol and drug problems that have had multiple treatment attempts. The Reprieve is a Bradford Health Services innovative recovery program. The year-long Reprieve offers testing, evaluation, and mentoring for employment, guides men through the 12 steps, and provides life skills training for balanced, healthy living. Get a Reprieve on life at 256-496-0406.
Auburn Urgent Care, located on South College in Auburn and on Enterprise Drive in Opelika near Tigertown, offers convenient solutions to your health care and occupational medicine needs. We offer workman's compensation injury care, and we have a certified DOT medical examiner on staff. It's not about speed. It's about the quality of care. We're open 7 days a week, 7:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday, and 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on weekends in Auburn, and 8:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday in Opelika. Walk-ins are welcome. Auburn Urgent Care. 334-821-3221 in Auburn, or 334-749-9191 in Opelika. Visit us online at auburnurgentcare.com. Proud of our past, confident in our future. And for your primary health care needs, visit Family Health Clinic at 1456 Opelika Road in Auburn. 334-826-8951. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Cheap, cheap, little cheaper day. It's the summer sale you've been waiting for. It's the summer clearance event at Carl Gregory Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Columbus. New Ram truck, Chargers, Dart, Journeys, 200, Grand Caravan, Wranglers, Cherokees, Grand Cherokee, and many more have been drastically discounted for this annual event. Get new 2014 Ram 1500 starting at just $21,488, or a new 2014 Dodge Avenger for only $14,990. Even get a new 2014 Jeep Wrangler for just $24,995. Carl Gregory Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Columbus even has the all-new 2015 Chrysler 200 in stock. 0% financing available. 0 payments for 90 days. Want more? Bring us your trade, and Carl Gregory will try to pay you top dollar for it. You might even be able to get more than you ever thought possible for your trade. Don't miss the annual summer clearance event going on now at your locally owned dealer. Carl Gregory Chrysler Dodge Jeep Rams, 2 giant locations. Victory Drive and the North Lake Auto Complex. Prices after all applicable rebates. All prices exclude tax, tag, title, and limit lot fee. Interest, if any, accrues from date of purchase on approved credit. Not available on internet pricing. Cheap, cheap.
This segment of Sports Call is brought to you by Resource Natural Spring Water. Resource is 100% natural spring water with naturally occurring electrolytes that support a lifestyle of well-being. When you need to refresh, revitalize, and replenish, it's always Resource Natural Spring Water.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Call, brought to you by Auburn Urgent Care. Auburn Urgent Care offers convenient solutions for your health care and occupational medicine needs, including workman's compensation injury care and certified DOT medical examinations. With locations on South College and in Tigertown, visit them online at auburnurgentcare.com. We're going to welcome in a very special guest now, Justin Ferguson. Hey, Justin, are you with us?
How are y'all doing?
Doing great. How about you? Justin is the managing editor for the Auburn Plainsman and the lead writer for Auburn at the Bleacher Report. So how's everything going at the Auburn Plainsman these days?
Doing pretty good. We're wrapping up the summer. Got our welcome back issue coming out next week, getting ready for the start of the fall semester.
I guess this is pretty a pretty big time of the year for the paper. All the students all coming back to town, football season starting, a lot of things going on around campus.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And just got a lot of people starting to move in, stuff like that, and getting ready for Auburn football season. You know, it's right around the corner.
Well, Justin, are you able to get out to practice any of these days? The media doesn't actually get a lot of playing, a lot of time there at practice. But what have you been able to garner as you have been over there?
Well, we've had a few times where we'd be able to watch practice a little bit, and what we get to see mostly is a bunch of drills. And what you're seeing from them is Auburn's rotating a lot of players. They're getting a lot of the work for these young guys that are coming in. They kind of took them slow the first few days, but I think you saw these last couple of days, and then today the scrimmage report that Auburn really wants these young guys to get in and find which ones are going to be able to contribute early on. Other than that, pretty straightforward with the first team, but just business as usual, as Rhett Lashley said earlier this week.
Well, obviously, we know a lot more now than we did. We were all speculating as practice began about certain, obviously the Nick Marshall situation, the Jonathan Mincy situation. There were rumors about Alex Kozan. Obviously, our worst fears were realized when it was announced that he did have back surgery over the off season here, and will miss the entire season. What do you think about that as far as the offensive line is concerned? Them shuffling around. Do you think that's going to be a devastating injury, or will Auburn be able to overcome it?
I think it's going to be tough anytime you lose a starter that played such a big role in all your games last season. And Kozan was one of the most consistent performers in the SEC when it came to offensive line play. But Auburn's got depth at the position, and they've got experience. Heading into the summer, Auburn's got 6 starter quality players and only 5 positions. Now with Kozan out, that leaves, you can move Chad Slade from right guard to left guard, which brings Avery Young from right tackle to right guard. That shores up that Sean Coleman will most likely be the starter at left tackle, and then Patrick Miller can fill in at right tackle. So Auburn's got experience and they've got talent. The depth has taken a little bit of a hit. There's been some injuries early on. Chad Slade's missed the last couple practices. Malzahn said today he's just a little banged up. But that experience, that depth, that shuffling they were able to do in the spring is going to pay off for Auburn. But I think Auburn will be able to handle that. It's just tough there whenever you can have a starter go down with an injury even before the season starts.
Well, garnering from what Gus Malzahn had to say, it's clear that Nick Marshall will not be the starter for Game 1, but it seems like the door's been left open for him to play in that first game. How do you see that playing out? Do you think Jeremy Johnson gets the majority of the snaps, or do you think Nick comes in after the first series?
Well, Malzahn and Rhett Lashley have been really guarded about this, and it's kind of hard to tell, what kind of the plan is. They haven't even told Jeremy Johnson definitively that he's going to be the starter. Whether that's a little bit of gamesmanship or just planning for whatever. I honestly would see Marshall sitting out the first quarter, probably, maybe the entire first half. I think the only scenario I see where Jeremy Johnson comes in and plays the whole game or most of the game is if Auburn comes in and just jumps on Arkansas early and gets to a point where you're up by 2 or 3 touchdowns and you don't really want to risk throwing Marshall in there in a game that would already be won. But that'd be really hard for me to see. That Arkansas team's going to be improved. They're going to be hungry. And Brett Bielema really wants this win over Auburn. He wants to put Arkansas back on the map, and so I think you'll see Nick Marshall probably around the second quarter, a little before halftime against Arkansas. But we still got a long way to go before we get there.
Yeah, Brett Bielema comes out this week and makes the statement that he wants to come to Auburn and upset Auburn, and he wants to upset Auburn with Nick Marshall as the quarterback. He is definitely whether he believes it or not, or whether as much as they try to downplay it, there is some animosity. There is a rivalry, so to speak, between he and Gus Malzahn personally, and it seems like maybe he's trying to create a rivalry between Arkansas and Auburn. It seems like every time that it quiets down, he tends to say something to stir it up again.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then Bielema hasn't really been a quiet coach as he's come into the SEC, and with Malzahn being a former Arkansas coach, being from the area, a lot of Arkansas fans look to him, and a guy that they could probably bring back, sometime down the line. That's probably a long shot when he decided to take the job at Auburn, but he was at Arkansas State and did well. And it's the old debate between what Bielema calls normal American football and what Gus Malzahn what he's accomplished at Auburn and everywhere else he's been, that fast-paced up tempo, which is what you're seeing more and more of in today's college football.
Well, Justin, we got Justin Ferguson on the phone, managing editor of the Auburn Plainsman, joining us here on Sports Call this afternoon. Auburn, obviously the defense was the Achilles heel last year. The offense got better and better as the year went along, and I guess the defense got better as well. But you hear a lot of talk from the guys on the defensive side of the ball talking about how they feel overlooked. They feel like they have a lot to prove this year. Who do you think steps up the most this year on the defensive side of the ball to help Auburn improve?
I think the two areas you need to look at Auburn needing the most improvement, first is pass defense, that secondary. Who's going to step up with the absence of Chris Davis? Jonathan Mincy's he's not going to start the Arkansas game, but he looks like he's got a spot locked down. I think we've seen a guy, Jonathan Jones is going to be the guy to look out for me at the cornerback position. Auburn safety spots are pretty much locked up between Moncrief and Jermaine Whitehead. But Jonathan Jones is a guy who came into camp fighting for that starting job. He's got a lot of speed. He's got a lot of athleticism that Auburn really wants in that defense, especially going up against some of these teams that like to pass the ball a lot. And Jones has had a bad streak of injuries, and he's going to be the guy to look toward as someone who can step up at cornerback. And there's a lot of young guys fighting for the position, and even an older guy in Trevon Reed. And it'll be interesting to see how he steps up, how he plays in defensive back. And the second area is who's going to replace Carl Lawson for the time being. And I think a guy you really need to look forward to this year is Elijah Daniel. If he's going to be that pass rusher that D Ford was and that Carl Lawson was going to be this year. Elijah Daniel's not getting a whole lot of talk about him this fall. A lot of guys talking about Gabe Wright splitting out to end, but look out for Elijah Daniel, and he could have that kind of breakout season that Lawson had last year.
Auburn brought in a very impressive recruiting class this year. Do you see anybody in this class that could be a Carl Lawson type, a Nick Ruffin in the secondary, a Trey Williams at linebacker, and Andrew Williams on the defensive line? Do you see any true freshmen coming in and being able to compete and be able to help this team?
Well, you mentioned a lot of the big names people are talking about. I think Trey Williams is going to have a shot to get in that linebacker rotation. Ellis Johnson said earlier in camp that he's not very satisfied with the depth of the linebackers behind Casanova McKenzie and Chris Frost. So I think Trey Williams is one. There's a lot of cornerbacks fighting to get a spot. But I think the name that not a lot of people might be talking about, but he came in in the spring. He's an early enrollee, and Malzahn and the staff seems to be pretty high on him. Stanton Truitt. He was a former quarterback in high school, small guy. He's super fast, and he's going to play slot receiver at Auburn. He's even gotten some chances at punt returner and kick returner when we've seen him out in camp. Malzahn basically said he's got the speed that they're going to try to find some way to get him the ball. And he's not the biggest recruit in that class. He wasn't the most, highly decorated. But I think he's a guy that Auburn really needs at that slot receiver position. With Malzahn's offensive creativity, they're going to find a way to get him the ball and make some defenses pay this year.
Well, it's kind of an odd thing, and this is something that I never really thought I would see, but fall practice has begun. We're a week into it. We just had our first 2 days, and yet one of the big stories, or there was a blip on the radar from Auburn basketball. It's just incredible how Bruce Pearl is keeping Auburn relevant in the off season. He announced that Auburn will play Colorado at midnight there in Boulder on ESPN2 when ESPN has their marathon tip-off. It's pretty just talk about the job that he's done and your impressions so far for him as the Auburn basketball coach.
Well, Jay Jacobs knew what he was doing when he hired Bruce Pearl. It's a guy that brings energy to a program that hasn't had energy in a long time. And one of the biggest assets about Bruce Pearl outside of his, the success you can see in leading tournament teams is that he is a very good salesman when it comes to his basketball program. And what he did the first few days on campus in drumming up just excitement for Auburn basketball going in and getting a recruiting class. This is going to be a completely different team than we saw last year. Auburn basketball has not been relevant in a while, and this is a guy who can come in and without even playing a single basketball game, he's already gotten a whole lot of buzz behind it. He knows how to play the media. He knows how to get his players excited. He knows how to get fans excited. And all that's good for Auburn early on. He'll be the first to tell you that all this excitement really isn't going to matter if Auburn doesn't perform well this season. And we can debate on what would be a good season for Auburn and Bruce Pearl in this first year. But very impressed to see the job he's done. His first few months on campus, he really has the makings to me of being a coach who could have some great success at Auburn in the future.
Justin Ferguson, the managing editor at the Auburn Plainsman and lead writer for Auburn at the Bleacher Report. Be sure to go online or pick up a copy of the Auburn Plainsman. Check out his work. Justin, we can't thank you enough for being a part of the program today.
All right, thank y'all again.
Thank you very much. We'll be back with more Sports Call presented by Auburn Urgent Care right after this.
Ladies and gentlemen, the mayor of Whatever USA.
Thanks for coming. This summer, Bud Light is creating a town called Whatever USA, the most marvelous, spectacular town for people who are up for whatever. And you could come. I will now take a few questions. Yes, you in front.
Is Whatever USA a real town?
It's as real as this voice-enhancing software. Next question.
How do I get to whatever?
Are you up for whatever?
Yes.
Perfect. Then audition at upforwhatever.com or your local participating Bud Light retailer. What kind of people is Bud Light looking for? We want yes people. Let's do it people. And this seems slightly unorthodox, but sure, why not people? That's my ride here. Bring it on, professional voice guy.
Bud Light, the perfect beer for whatever happens. Bud Light Whatever USA video contest open to U.S. residents 21 and over. No purchase necessary. Ends August 31st, 2014. Visit upforwhatever.com for official rules, entry prices, and details. Void where prohibited.
Stop by your local Bud Light retailer and ask about all the great Bud Light promotions in your area. Bud Light, the perfect beer for whatever happens. When you're over 21. Are you up for whatever?
Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, AB St. Louis, Missouri.
It was just one of those days. I had a million things to do. This was the last thing I was expecting.
No matter how well you drive, things happen. And when they do, the ASE-certified technicians at Franklin Tire and Auto know there's only one way to fix it, the right way. From accident repair to factory scheduled maintenance, Franklin Tire will give you honest, dependable service at a competitive price. Proudly serving the area since 1970 and still locally owned and operated.
No shortcuts, no compromise, and friendly service every time. Franklin Tire and Auto in Auburn, 821-4572, and FranklinAutoInc.com.
Wanted. Personal assistant for small business and some school project. Must be an expert graphic designer, well-versed in strategic marketing, able to quickly and accurately print everything from business cards and brochures to flyers and signs. With Allegra Printing, you don't need an assistant to get it done. They've got you covered. In-house designers, state-of-the-art all-digital printing equipment, and an on-time can-do attitude. Allegra Printing, your personal assistant. University Crossing Shopping Center behind McAllister's Deli in Auburn. Visit allegra-auburnal.com or call 887-3180.
Auburn Links is proud to honor the people who keep us safe, the men and women of the military, and the police, fire, and EMTs of Lee County. To show their thanks, Auburn Links is offering you special discounts. Just show your ID, and you'll get 18 holes of the best golf around for just $25 anytime. That's right, members of the military, along with police, fire, and EMTs of Lee County, 18 holes for just $25. Auburn Links wants to thank you for what you do with a great round of golf. Auburn Links, off exit 51. Call 887-5151.
Gotta get the deal. Deals auto sales. Get finance, got to get the deal. Bitch asking for lowdowns, all I'm here to say. Gil Phoenix City Walmart has them on the way. Everything on the lot is $4.99 down. Gil's price and selection is the best around. That low down payment gets you on your way. $4.99 down, you'll be riding today. Gotta get the deal. Gil's auto sales. We get finance, got to get the deal. Selection and price, got to get the deal. Gotta get the deal.
Mountain Dew Kickstart now comes in 2 new flavors, Black Cherry and Limeade, to help kickstart your night. When you start your night with Mountain Dew Kickstart, you start with dew, juice, and electrolytes. So now you're ready for anything. You're ready for a pre-party, a post-party, a post-party, which might be so late it's actually a pre-party for tomorrow's party. Talking a bouncer into letting you in backstage. Talking a bouncer into letting you onto a tour bus. Talking a bouncer into letting you drive the bus. That's because you started the night with new Mountain Dew Kickstart Black Cherry and Limeade.
And now you're ready for anything, like a birthday party for a friend, a birthday party for an ex-girlfriend of a friend, a birthday party for some rando that you never met, but they had delicious cake and you love delicious cake. Pool parties with a pool table in the pool. Dates that are in total darkness. Dates that you sort of wish were in total darkness. Whatever happens, you're ready. New Mountain Dew Kickstart Black Cherry and Limeade to kickstart your night. Dew, juice, and electrolytes for an amazingly refreshing taste. Electrolytes added for taste purposes only. Kickstart your night.
Visit exotic destinations, Alaska, Europe, Hawaii, and more on a land trip or cruise. Contact Ruta Lisa Anderson at Cruise Planners today. Why do the planning when it can be done for you? Visit exclusivecruiseplanners.com or call 844-722-6342.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Call presented by Always Money. Andy and Randy here with you until 6 o'clock, taking your phone calls and talking about everything in the world of sports. We're also giving away 2 tickets to the Paul Feinbaum book signing there in Auburn, Opelika. Books a Million on Friday, August the 8th at 2 p.m. If you're interested in that, give us a call or tweet us. We're going to pull the names out of the hat at the end of the show, and you'll be able to meet Paul Feinbaum if that might be your lifelong dream.
Ed in Auburn, you're on Sports Call.
Yeah, as far as meeting Paul, I've met him a bunch of times. Those tickets don't come with one of his books, or I'd love to read his book, but I've met him a bunch of times. And believe it or not, Paul's not that bad of a guy when you meet him in person and stuff. And
Ed, you will get a free book if you get one of these tickets.
Okay, all right, yeah. Put my name in the pot then. I ran into him at Targets in Birmingham, and we sat there and talked for a little while. He got where he didn't like me too much, and because I called and chastised him when he was on Auburn and stuff, when he got pretty pro-Bama, so far up Nicky's, what. But as far as 3 things real quick, as far as Barbie, I think Barbie has a chance to take us to the tournament this year. As far as expectations, I know that's really big, and I'm going out on a limb. We've got a hard schedule, but that's the kind of excitement that he's brought to not only me, but a lot of Auburn people that I know.
I hope you mean Pearl.
Pearl, excuse me. I'm sorry.
No, I don't think Barbie's taking us anywhere.
No, didn't Barbie join Calipari or something?
I think he did.
Yeah, I think I saw something where he joined Kentucky staff, but on a dark horse on the Heisman, I'm just gonna say that Leonard Fournette from running back LSU, is going to be a true freshman.
Yes, sir.
I watched a lot of film of him, and because I was afraid he was going to go to Bama, and I was just glad he went to LSU. I can't stand LSU, but I'd rather get beat by LSU than get beat by Bama any day. But the other thing is, I'm just trying to think. As far as an Auburn player, I'd love to see, Sammy Coates maybe, or get consideration, have that good of a year. But that Leonard Fournette he is something else. But what I was going to ask y'all about real quick, if you saw the articles about that, Florida State is paying $60,000 for Jameis Winston's insurance.
I did see that. Yes.
Don't you think that that's something that could be misused by, the first person that comes to mind is Nick Saban, telling kids, will you stay and we'll pay $60,000 insurance, and, if you get hurt, you'll be collecting $8 to $10 million. And don't you think something's going to have to be? I know Texas A&M did it with a kid, that offensive lineman. I can't pronounce his name. Starts with an O. But,
I can't pronounce it either.
Yeah, but don't you think that's something that might be misused if they don't put some kind of something on it? I don't know, but I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna hang up and listen, and thank y'all for taking my call.
Thank you, Ed. Yeah, Ed's referring to Florida State is going to apparently pick up the tab for a insurance policy that a $10 million insurance policy Jameis Winston has taken out, that if he were to have a catastrophic injury and cannot play, then that would obviously he'd be able to collect on that. And it's also if he were to drop in the draft stock, he would actually be able to collect on a percentage of that $10 million. Now, the Florida State, it's coming out of a student assistant fund, and what this is, apparently it is up to the conferences on how they particularly use this. It's not usually used to be able to provide something like that, but technically it is there for them to be able to assist a student athlete with the cost of certain things. And yes, this is going to be something that's going to have to be looked at because you're probably going to be able to see it more and more happening as time goes on.
You know, and I think that is the reason that Jameis Winston, you remember the story a couple of months ago, and he says, I'm playing all 4 more years. I'm not coming out early. My plans are to go through my senior year at Florida State. Does this weigh into that decision? It wouldn't me. I can assure you if I was sitting in his shoes and I had the insurance policy there being held on for $10 million, then I do think twice about it because he's a $100 million guy. He is. But if you do know that you come back and you have that opportunity to play 4 years of college football and you still have that to lean on if something were to happen to you catastrophic, then
it's a good thing.
I think twice about it.
Absolutely. Well, the Fox Sports Report is up next. We'll be back with the second hour of Sports Call presented by Auburn Urgent Care right after this.
Purchasing a home can sometimes be overwhelming. Instead, it should be an exciting time for you and your family. Hi, I'm Angela Van Houten with Century 21 Lake Area Realty. I want to help you find the home or property that perfectly fits your needs. With over 15 years of experience in real estate, I am proud to serve the Lake Martin and surrounding areas. Call or text me today, 256-596-0566, or find me on the web at angelavanhouten.com and let me help you find the home you've always dreamed of.
It's always something. Your car needs a new tire, tuition is due. It's down to the wire. Cheerleading outfit, soccer shoes, football pass, or annual dues. Nellie's in band. She needs a trombone. Good golly Molly, you need a loan. Jimmy broke his arm. He needs a cast. You need money, and you need it fast. When life comes at you, Always Money can help you through. It's easy, convenient, friendly, and fast. You'll get the cash you need the day you need it. So stop by or visit alwaysmoney.com. How much can we loan you today? Borrowers often use payday loans over a period of months, which can be expensive.
From cruises and resorts to land tours and completely packaged vacations, Rutalisa Anderson of Cruise Planners specializes in all types of travel and will create an unforgettable vacation just for you. Visit exotic destinations, Alaska, Europe, Hawaii, and more. Visit exclusivecruiseplanners.com or call Rutalisa Anderson of Cruise Planners today, toll free at 844-722-6342.
Is your paycheck slipping away in insurance premiums? Let Alpha Insurance show you how to tackle savings with rewards and discounts for loyal customers. Save even more when you bundle your home, car, and life insurance with Alpha. Plus, you get friendly service from our hometown team. In Opelika, call Alpha agent Brian Foreman at 334-749-3371 or stop by our office at 709 2nd Avenue in Opelika.
You're listening to Sports Call on Tiger 93.9, WTGZ, Union Springs, Montgomery, and Auburn, and AM 620 WTRP, LaGrange.
Now, hey, it's Looney, slaving over a hot microphone. Tiger Woods showed up for the PGA Championship today in Kentucky, where the sun shines bright. Record crowds followed him around. He played 9 holes. His back seems fine.
I felt pretty good about how I played and the shots I hit.
And Tiger will play this weekend at the PGA Championship. Got some day baseball today. Padres bouncing the Twins and the Pud Squad Radio Network.
With a holder one to deep right field. Got a long drive. That ball long gone, and it is a long home run to right field.
And that was the game winner. Padres won it 5-4. Rangers folded the White Sox on KRLD Dallas.
Adam Rosales has hit his second home run of the ball.
3-1 was your final in that game. Two other games in the bottom of the seventh. Rays in front of the Frigate A's, 7-1. Mariners leading the Braves, 6-3. And I am Looney.
We are Baltimore.
They say business can get downright dirty. At Advanced Disposal, we couldn't agree more. That's why we offer dedicated solid waste and recycling services designed specifically for business. We work hard to leave your business a little cleaner than we found it. Whether the job is big or small, we do all the heavy lifting so you can focus solely on your customers, because that's what business is all about. Advanced Disposal, always working to keep your business and community beautiful. Visit advanceddisposal.com or call your local facility and discover our full range of commercial services today.
I've always wanted to join a gym, but with my hectic schedule and tight budget, it's just never been an option. I had a few minutes between soccer practice and gymnastics, so I thought I'd check out Tiger Iron Gym. I was pleasantly surprised. An August membership only cost $1. Then it's only $19.99 a month after. Tiger Iron's open 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. They've got a huge selection of equipment, so I never have to wait. And get this, Tiger Iron Gym is locally owned. I love it. Tiger Iron Gym, your hometown gym, in the Winn-Dixie Shopping Center on South College.
I'm so tired of eating pizza.
You want a real meal? You know, just like Mama's home cooking. Then dine in, carry out, or have veggies to go on South College. Cater your next meal. You can eat food just like Mom's, 7 days a week, and have something different every day. Pork chops, country fried steak and gravy, meatloaf, and more. Served with all kinds of fresh veggies and casseroles. And don't miss out on Miss Jeannie's homemade desserts. So when you're craving the comfort from home, it's always veggies to go on South College in Auburn.
It's the Bulls, Bands, and Barrels Tour at the Lee County Fairgrounds, Saturday, August 9th, sponsored by the all-new Opelika Ford and Opelika Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Bull riding, barrel racing, and the Blaine Rudd Band. Kids' tickets are just $10, adults $15. A portion of the proceeds will benefit Storybook Farms. Get tickets on our Facebook page, 5 at the gate, or Play It Again Sports. The Bulls, Bands, and Barrels Tour, August 9th at 7 p.m. Gates open at 5:30 at the Lee County Fairgrounds, sponsored by the all-new Opelika Ford and Opelika Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
TK's convenience stores are prepared to help you on your dash home. Whether you need to grab a gallon of milk, bread, drinks, or some cash from the ATM, TK's is there for you. At TK's convenience stores, we work hard to carry those items that you need to grab quickly, and we pride ourselves on high-quality gasoline and clean stores. So don't stress about your evening. Slow down and stop at one of TK's 14 locations to grab what you need. TK's convenience stores, always there when you need us.
Four Paws has teamed up with Gigi's Cupcakes in Auburn to have the tastiest fundraiser ever. Four Paws is taking orders for 12 packs of mini cupcakes from now until Wednesday, August the 13th. Pickup will be on Thursday, August the 21st from 3 to 6 p.m. at Four Paws Boutique. For every 12-pack you buy, you get a raffle ticket to enter in your pet for an entire year of weekly bath. Each 12-pack is $20 and is tax deductible. So why not help a great cause by purchasing cupcakes for Cups for Pups? Presented by Four Paws Pet Boutique on Opelika Road. For more information, email fourpawsboutique.rescue@gmail.com.
You better buckle your seatbelts because it's going to be a show to watch.
From Tiger Communications.
Jackson, touchdown.
For 20 years, East Alabama's sports talk leader.
Swing and drive.
Sportscall.
Oh, what a shot.
Call in now at 887-3401-LOCAL. Or 1-888-9-TIGER-9, toll free.
Struck him out.
And now, coming to you live from the loveliest village on the plains. Sports Call. The opening segment of Sports Call is brought to you by Lee Marketing Group. For signage, tees, web design, and more, call LMG today at 334-742-0197.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back into Sports Call. I am Andy Graham alongside my partner, Randy Lee, and we'll be with you for one more hour, taking your phone calls and discussing everything relevant in the world of sports. As we mentioned in the first hour, our question of the day is, who is your dark horse to win the Heisman Trophy? There have been a lot over the last several years, and that poses an interesting question because usually being a dark horse, it's somebody that we haven't heard from before. So Give us your dark horse. Also, we are giving away 2 tickets to the Paul Feinbaum book signing there and over at the Auburn-Opelika Books A Million on Friday, August 8th at 2 p.m. One from the phone calls that we get today, we'll throw your name in the hat, and we'll pull one out at the end of the show. And the other ticket comes from those that interact with us on social media, whether that be our Facebook page or just by sending us a tweet at Sportscall AU.
Let's go back to the phone lines. Luke in Ellick City, you're on Sports Call.
Hey, how's everybody today?
Good, Luke. How are you?
Doing great, doing great. First of all, I love the streaming, by the way, on YouTube. You guys need to really push that out there some more and talk about it, because it's great to be able to it's just another way to be able to get in touch with Sports Call if you want to. I think that's a fabulous idea.
We appreciate it. We'll talk a little bit more about it. It's something we've been pushing around and doing for quite a while now, but not sure that we were consistent with it. So now a little bit more consistent, so we'll talk a little more about it. Thanks, Luke.
Yeah, that's a big deal. But as far as Heisman dark horses go, the one guy, and I'll stick with him because I think we've actually talked about this in the past, and that's Christian Hackenberg at Penn State. I just think he's a great, great quarterback. I mean, he's got NFL written all over him, if you ask me. So I'll keep him there. But another guy, and I don't really even know if he's a dark horse, but Amir Abdullah out of Nebraska, who's from right here in Homewood. And my goodness, he's so much fun to watch. He may be the most electric player in college football this season. And if there's a team that can't afford to lose any one player, specifically on offense, it may be Nebraska with Abdullah.
Luke, one thing we've seen over the years covering recruiting, Amir Abdullah, any camp that he went to, it seemed like he was the MVP of the camp. And I'd like your thoughts on that before we let you go. Many times coaches may overthink size, and Amir Abdullah's was 5'9", 180, 185 pounds out of Homewood High School, was an outstanding high school running back, ends up getting out of the state of Alabama and heads off to Nebraska, and currently sitting, I think, with a decent season. He will be second on the all-time rushing list at Nebraska, the #1 running back coming out as a senior in the NFL preseason draft poll. So it's a great story there.
Oh, it's awesome. And I'm so happy for him. And I think he ended up going to a pretty good situation where he did at the time that he was being recruited. Auburn and Alabama, I mean, seemingly recruiting above him. Now, it turns out that it didn't work out that way so much, but who could have predicted that he would be this big of a talent his senior year at Nebraska? I don't think anybody really could have seen that coming. Sometimes recruiting is just an inexact science. I'm a big believer in get the biggest, the strongest, and the fastest, and then you coach them up and let it'll work itself out. Sometimes it doesn't. I mean, there have been some 5-stars on Alabama's campus that have not ever played a down, really. But there have been some 2-stars that end up being starters for 3 years. But more often than not, I think your highly rated kids turn out pretty well and are the ones that are drafted. I mean, Jadeveon Clowney's a prime example. I mean, that's a kid that was, you could tell he was an NFL player when he was a sophomore in high school, and it worked out. Amir Abdullah, he was great at Homewood. I mean, he was dynamic. He was a lot of fun to watch. And when we saw him in the Alabama-Mississippi All-Star game, we thought he was better than advertised, but we wouldn't necessarily say he should get the hype of, say, somebody like a Rock Thomas or a T.J. Yeldon, I don't think. But you know what? It remains to be seen if Amir Abdullah isn't better than those two guys. So I think that I'm just pulling for him. I would love, if it isn't a guy from one of our in-state schools to win it, I would love to see a kid like Amir Abdullah, who's from the state of Alabama, win the award.
Luke, we appreciate the phone call, buddy, and we totally agree with you. If it's not an Auburn player for your end, an Alabama player, I would love to see him. Thanks for the call.
All right, guys, have a good day.
888-9-TIGER-9, 334-887-3401. I tend to do that. You know, I know that we get out and about, and I love high school football, love high school sports. Would talk about it from the start of the day until the end of this program if given the opportunity. It's one of my passions out there. So I do. I tend to cheer for those kids that are from our local communities that move on, even if they're not at one of our schools. I still want them to do good.
Absolutely. You know, just last night y'all had on Sports Blitz had an interview with Kendall Graveman. You know, I'm going to be following that kid's career from now until the time he retires. You know, he's has kind of moved up the AAA ranks in baseball very quickly. He's now with a AAA team for the Toronto Blue Jays, doing extremely well. Same way, local kids, we kind of adopt them. We see them play in high school, and we just wish the best for them and love to see them succeed.
I guess this is as good a time as any. The Alabama Sports Writers Association comes out with their top 10 polls, 7A down to 1A. And the beauty of living in the area that we live in, you got a ton of great high school football in this region. And a lot of our teams are fed by the great talent that we have here. Auburn will have a running back in the backfield this year, and Corey Grant, that I mentioned as a dark horse for the Heisman, that played at Opelika High School. We're thrilled to have him there. And Opelika High School, in the first preseason 6A poll, they come in at number 5. Carver of Montgomery, also in our listening audience, comes in at number 4. One other team there in 6A that had some votes on the outside looking in, honorable mention, you can say that, Stanhope Elmore was another team from the Millbrook area. But the first year that we're going to talk about 7A, and 7A football has the top 32 teams in the state of Alabama that will compete in it. Hoover High School, of course, is the number 1 team ranked in 7A leading into the season. The number 4 nationally ranked team by Max Preps I saw today coming into the season. If they were to repeat again, go 15-0, and they're loaded. This is one of the deeper classes we've ever seen at Hoover High School as far as Division I talent. They would be 45-0 in the last 3 years, Andy.
Unbelievable. Just you take for what Rush Probst did there at that school. Now you see what Niblett has done. It really hasn't missed a beat. And even at a powerhouse like Hoover, that's difficult to do, to come in and not lose that ultimate high-tier success like they've had over the last decade, really. Hoover's just a high school factory for football, and it's not surprising to see them so highly ranked.
One of our local area schools that I think is right on the cusp. They played for a state championship last year. I think they're just getting better and better every year, and I expect them to win a state title sooner than later is Auburn High School. They're the number 5 team in the preseason Alabama Sports Writers Association poll. Central of Phoenix City, our good friend Jamie DuBose is over there coaching now, one of the better coaches in the state of Alabama. He has Phoenix City, a very talented team, currently ranked number 6 in the initial poll. Prattville back in the top 10 as they're ranked number 10. And Smith Station, also in our listening audience, currently coming in as the number 1 team outside looking in, so we'll put them at number 11. Closing out, 5A Central of Clay County's number 4 there. Davil in 4A comes in at number 3 in the initial poll. Trinity over in Montgomery comes in at number 10. St. James outside looking in. Montgomery Academy down in 3A, outside looking in. In 2A, Lynette is number 3. Reeltown, right on one of the cusp. I think they're 13th or 14th. Lochapoka, the number 6 team in 1A. So we've got a lot of high school football to talk and a lot of kids to talk about that hopefully end up on our campuses.
Absolutely. You see, the one thing about most of those schools, as you mentioned, right here in our area, we are so blessed to live in a kind of a central location where we have great high school football all around us. We have great college football right around us. So a great place to live and the great you can go out on Friday nights or you can go out on Saturday nights. Your weekends are pretty full this time of year.
On social media, great interview. Enjoyed that with Justin Ferguson. Several people that are tuning in or listening in out there talking about Stanton Truitt and the mention there. Just some of your thoughts. Stanton Truitt's not a player that we've mentioned so far, but interesting to hear that in the last segment.
Yeah, I've heard Gus Malzahn say that, how impressed he is with him, talking about his speed, his quickness, just his general athletic ability and excitement. Some players, like a Percy Harvin, they just, when you put the ball in their hands in space, they do special things with it. Gus Malzahn is kind of setting Stanton Truitt up. He thinks he's that kind of guy. He has that kind of ability. He's only 5'9". He's a short, he's a short guy. He's not very big, but he apparently is a guy that you can hardly catch. So they're going to try to find ways to get him the ball and see what he can do. And if there's anybody, an offensive coordinator out there that can find a way to get somebody the ball and to be successful, it's Gus Malzahn.
Interesting comment I saw from Marcus Davis, slot receiver, that Coach Malzahn is working with the slot receivers, and he expects nothing but the best out of his players. We already know that, but Marcus Davis is another player. We haven't mentioned so much about him, but sitting in that slot, he fills that position. He looks the role there. you could see a lot more balls going to him this year, I would think.
Yeah, definitely. Got to get to our next break, but there's more Sports Call to come, presented by Always Money, right after this.
It's always something.
Lake Winds Golf Course, the most affordable, quality round of golf in Central Alabama. Located right off Highway 280 on County Road 40 in Alexander City. Lake Winds Golf Course offers affordable memberships, an updated pro shop, junior golf program, annual tournaments, and weekly matches. Call for your tee time today, 256-825-9860. Lake Winds Golf Course.
It's always something. Your car needs a new tire, tuition is due. It's down to the wire. Cheerleading outfit, soccer shoes, football pass, or annual dues. Nellie's in band. She needs a trombone. Good golly molly, you need a loan. Jimmy broke his arm. He needs a cast. You need money, and you need it fast. When life comes at you, Always Money can help you through. It's easy, convenient, friendly, and fast. You'll get the cash you need the day you need it. So stop by or visit alwaysmoney.com. How much can we loan you today? Borrowers often use payday loans over a period of months, which can be expensive.
What is LNG? It's a team of professionals with the tools to create a successful marketing plan to help your business grow. LNG has successful designs that get results for the individual and the business. We provide signs of all types, screen printing and embroidery, promotional products, web design, audio and video production, and much more. LNG has 3 locations to serve you in Alex City, Dadeville, and the Auburn-Opelika area. Call us at 888-533-6758.
Auburn Urgent Care, located on South College in Auburn and on Enterprise Drive at Opelika near Tigertown, offers convenient solutions to your health care and occupational medicine needs. We offer workman's compensation injury care, and we have a certified DOT medical examiner on staff. It's not about speed. It's about the quality of care. We're open 7 days a week, 7:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday, and 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on weekends in Auburn, and 8:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday in Opelika. Walk-ins are welcome. Auburn Urgent Care. 334-821-3221 in Auburn, or 334-749-9191 in Opelika. Visit us online at auburnurgentcare.com. Proud of our past, confident in our future. And for your primary health care needs, visit Family Health Clinic at 1456 Opelika Road in Auburn. 334-826-8951. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
There's no doubt that high school and college athletics rule the state of Alabama. Increase exposure for your business by spending your advertising dollars on the best sports programming in Alabama with Sportslit, Sportscall, and the AHSAA radio network. In a sports-hungry state like Alabama, Sportslit, Sportscall, and the AHSAA radio network will offer your business the best return on investment. We have packages designed to fit any budget. Call today at 256-794-8223.
Is your paycheck slipping away in insurance premiums? Let Alpha Insurance show you how to tackle savings with rewards and discounts for loyal customers. Save even more when you bundle your home, car, and life insurance with Alpha. Plus, you get friendly service from our hometown team. In Opelika, call Alpha agent Brian Foreman at 334-749-3371 or stop by our office at 709 2nd Avenue in Opelika.
At Russell Do-It Center stores, you'll find a complete assortment of lumber, building materials, hardware, electrical and plumbing supplies, paint, tools, and lawn and garden merchandise. Russell Do-It Center stores deliver first-class service, top-rated products, and competitive do-it-best pricing. Russell Do-It Center also offers free estimates, free local delivery, and price match promise. Check us out at www.russelldoitcenter.com or visit one of our 9 locations in Central Alabama.
This segment of Sports Call is brought to you by Resource.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Call, presented by Auburn Urgent Care. Andy and Randy here with you for another 40 minutes, taking you up to the 6 o'clock hour. We're giving away 2 tickets to the Paul Feinbaum book signing there at the Books A Million in Auburn, Opelika on Friday, August the 8th. You can get your picture made with Paul. It's kind of a VIP ticket. You'll get a free book. You'll be able to get it autographed. You'll be able to get your picture taken with Paul and maybe even have a conversation and pick his brain for a few minutes. If that's something that you're interested in, give us a call, and if we're going to take up all our phone calls at the end of the show and pick one and give one ticket away. And we're also going to take all the social media interaction that we've had today and pick one person from there, and we'll give away those 2 tickets at the end of the show.
888-9-TIGER-9, 334-887-3401. Our question of the day, it seems like a dark horse has come out of nowhere and won the Heisman Trophy the past 6 to 8 years at least. Who do you think would be one of those dark horses this year? Of course, Nick Marshall would not be considered a dark horse, as he is in the top 10 on all polls that I've seen heading in to the season. So who do you believe would be one of those dark horses? As we're in our quick hitter segment of the program, and we're going to go around the country with some big topics that are of interest out there. And I think one of the major topics of interest heading into tomorrow will be the NCAA autonomy vote, which will happen tomorrow. And Mike's Live has made it very clear that the top 5 conferences need that autonomy, or they're going to look to a Division IV. And also, I thought it was pretty interesting that Jay Jacobs comes out and makes a statement on that also. If we're held back, then we're going to have to do something different, like the commissioner mentioned. So it looks like all of the commissioners and the ADs are in a line. How do you think this one plays out, Andy?
Well, Brett and I had an opportunity to speak with the commissioner, SEC Commissioner Mike's Live at SEC Media Days, and I asked him about that autonomy question, and to be honest with you, he did not seem worried at all. He felt like for certain that this would pass and that they would give the Power 5 conferences that leeway to change some of the rules to be able to offer money in the form of full cost of attendance scholarships, whatever it might be, insurance, food, these kind of things that they have the ability to do with the money that they make. He obviously made a pretty substantial threat to say that if we don't get this autonomy, then the Power 5 conferences are going to create a Division IV, and you really see college football change if that happens. I'm
quoting Jay Jacobs here, as he had an interview with a Villager in June, maybe going to a Division IV, whatever it may be, starting our own division. We'd prefer not to do that. We'd prefer to stay in the current structure, and pulls us out so that we can have that autonomy of 65 institutions. So it's the big schools, and it's a tough dynamic here. We see other schools in this state that struggle. UAB is one that comes directly to mind when we talk about this. We know that they struggle getting people out to watch the games, but I'm of the opinion, and we've got a kid from right here in Alexander City that's been starting for them on the offensive line for a couple of years. I'd love to see UAB have I don't want to see them compete with Auburn and Alabama. I just don't. But I would love to see them be a competitor year in and year out. Troy, I think, has built a program that you can be proud of, and has had a number of great bowl teams and have sent a number of great players into the professional ranks that are some of the better players that we got in the professional ranks. So, Andy, it is a tough one. I wouldn't want to fight this, but I do agree with Jay Jacobs. I agree with Mike Slive. Things need to change, and they need to change quickly, and it's amazing that it's all happening at one time. At least it feels that way.
Well, things have to change because of the money that's flowing in, the SEC network getting underway, the money that's going to create, just so much. You have to be able to do something. You have to change with the times. And, college football has always been, the haves versus the have-nots. The haves trying to keep the have-nots up with them, bring them along, and try to maybe even play down to their level. That's not the case anymore. There's too big a gap. You cannot avoid it. You just have to deal with it and change the rules accordingly.
Charter has signed. I know that we've mentioned that, but it is
official.
It is official. Charter is signed to carry the SEC network, boosting the already gargantuan number of 91 million homes that it is reaching now, and thanks to SEC Chad as he pushes that one out. But 91 million. You and I mentioned a couple of weeks back that we saw the number, at least, that 75 million was a very reasonable goal for them to attain in year one. They've already reached and exceeded that, and I said it on the program yesterday. ESPN and the SEC have done about as good a job as you possibly can in creating a marketing plan that has worked now that it's ended up in this situation. Charter had no option. None of these networks had an option. I was sitting in a board meeting today, and I won't throw a name out there, but a good friend of ours that were in the board meeting here in Alex City says Charter have they decided they're going to take this SEC network? And he was mad. I mean, he'd had enough. And I said, yeah, I think Charter's going to take the SEC network. Should be news coming out pretty soon. He said, well, they better. They're going to lose my business. And there's so many of us out there that ESPN and the SEC, whether they said that, we said that, which ended up helping them.
Absolutely. I've said that many a times, and I did not want to go back to satellite. I'm a Charter subscriber. I wanted Charter to get it. I didn't want to have to do that. But when the bottom line comes around, I was going to change. I mean, that's just the way it is, and I think they knew that. And just think, there's 8 days left before this thing gets underway. There'll probably be more and more cable providers out there that take the SEC network just around the country. Can you imagine what this is going to be 3 years from now? It just incredible.
888-9-TIGER-9 334-887-3401. Love to hear from you out there. Our question of the day: who's your Heisman Trophy dark horse out there? Again, call in, or Sportscall AU is where you can find us on Twitter. This drug scandal, Major League Baseball, how does it end? I've heard upwards of 85 new players will end up coming out and being put into the national media. This can't be good news for Major League Baseball. I've heard Major League Baseball is as good financially as it's ever been, but I tend to question that, at least for my feel for the sport right now. It's dwindled a little bit, and I think that a lot of that's around offensive numbers, Andy.
Yeah, they may be making money, but the popularity of baseball is dropping. And this is one of the big reasons why. Look, we all thought after the Mitchell report that maybe this was good for baseball. Go ahead and get it out there, get it over with, get all this thing, get it out of baseball, and it's just lingered, and it just seemed like it's just one Band-Aid pulled after another, and here we go again. Is this going to be the end of it? There's always going to be an Anthony Bosch out there trying to get ahead of the test, trying to come up with some way to improve some athlete, and there's always going to be an athlete out there that takes it. Now, maybe this will, in some way close a chapter, because he is a pretty big subscriber here, and the testing is better than it's ever been. Possibly it will be, but I'm not sure baseball is going to recover for several years.
888-9-TIGER-9. I guess I'm surprised at the numbers, the sheer numbers of athletes that were doing this. Maybe I'm in a box somewhere and just didn't realize that that's what it took to get over the hump. There's a lot of great athletes out there, but to get over the hump, maybe you do have to do. And to look at where the numbers have gone this year, we had more sub-2 ERAs, I think, in Major League Baseball since 1972 heading into the All-Star break. Very few home runs being hit. To me, personally, I'd rather see a little bit more offense. But if you're a pitcher out there, you'd rather see what you're seeing currently, because it's more of real baseball. But I think the average fan would like more offense. I wonder if I bring that up, I wonder if people care as much as Major League Baseball, because it sure does seem like a black eye one after another on Major League Baseball, and it can't be good.
Yeah, I think we all probably would. You can't deny the numbers from the Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire chase, and how big baseball was, how everybody was tuning in. That was exciting, and I think if we could all go back and just to say, well, let none of this come out, and we'll just turn a blind eye to it. We know things are going on, but we don't want to know things are going on. But now that the box is open, we can't do that. We can't go back. And it's not the guys that are borderline guys. It's not the 4A players that are taking it just to get into Major League Baseball. You can understand that. It's the guys that are borderline Hall of Famers that are taking it because they want to be a Hall of Famer. They don't want to be a great player. They want to be the best.
Other sports have decided not to go that route. NFL, they don't test for HGH. They probably look. If there's that much going on in Major League Baseball, you can go ahead and, in my personal opinion, you can double that for football, because you need it worse in that sport than you do in baseball. Look, but the NFL has stayed out of the fray here. NBA, they don't drug test. They don't want to know. I mean, do you think that they want to test for marijuana in the NBA? No, they don't. I mean, they don't do that, because why? It would be a black eye completely on the NBA if you had a number, and I don't think that it matters. I mean, as long as they perform, they show up. If they want what they want to do in their free time, I'm all for it. I mean, we've been down that road many a times on this program, but Andy, those two sports have seemed to stay out of the fray more than Major League Baseball has.
They have, and baseball has set itself up that we are the pure sport. This is about purity. It's about numbers. Numbers matter. That's another thing. Numbers don't matter in football. They don't matter in basketball. Nobody knows, the specific numbers of players every year. You do in baseball. They do matter. That's why baseball is different. That's why you can't really separate it like you can to the other sports. We're going to go ahead and take our next break, but don't go anywhere. More Sports Call to come, presented by Always Money, right after this.
All right, guys, bring it in. Listen up. I want to talk about last night. Yes, sir. Maybe you had your friends over, huh? Cracked open some icy cold Budweisers. And maybe, just maybe, you had yourselves the night of your life. Well, yesterday's over, boys, but tonight is just beginning. You got a bunch of bonus buds sitting pretty in your fridge. I want you to crack them open, and I want you to mass text all your friends and round them all up again for round 2. I don't want to hear. I do not want to hear. But we're tired from yesterday, Coach. Or the cleaning lady just left. That's what the fool who missed it would say. Gentlemen, listen to me. You need to go out there and live, and you need to do it tonight. Carpe diem, boys. And while you're at it, carpe nightem too. Great times await.
Enjoy responsibly. Budweiser Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Go with Graceland Portable Buildings for storage facilities and the highest quality hunting and fishing cabins you'll ever see. Graceland blows away the competition with the finest building materials, top quality lumber, and secure metal roofs. Graceland is so sure that their buildings will move only when you want them to that they offer the strongest warranties in the business. Buy outright or lease to own, there is no credit check required. And Graceland will deliver and set up your new building for free. Look for the G and visit Graceland Portable Buildings on South College in Auburn, or go to GracelandPortableBuildings.com.
Known for over 30 years as the Super 6, Auburn Bank's drive-thru on North Gay Street in downtown Auburn is now open at its new location right across the street next to the main office campus. More efficient and designed to make banking easier for you. A walk-up teller window, 5 drive-thru windows, and a drive-thru ATM. It's everything you need in one convenient location. Auburn Bank's new Super 6 at the downtown office campus. Open now. Auburn Bank, since 1907, your partner, your neighbor, your friend. Member FDIC.
A guy walks into Tiger Iron Gym and hands over a $1 bill. He still can't believe that $1 buys a membership at Auburn's favorite local gym for all of August. There is plenty of equipment, and best of all, no waiting. Tiger Iron Gym, your hometown gym, now offering their best deal yet. $1 enrolls you for all of August at Tiger Iron Gym. After August, your membership is only $19.99 a month. You can't beat it. Tiger Iron Gym, your hometown gym. Open 24/7, 365 days a year. Behind Zaxby's and University Crossing in Auburn.
In a world where time is money, only one team can conquer all your printing and marketing needs, big or small. Call the A-Team, Allegra Printing. The experts at Allegra can handle it all, from concept, copywriting, and design, to printing, targeting, and mailing. They're local, knowledgeable, accurate, and quick. Don't risk your company's success on a faithless, faraway online imitator. There can be only one. Allegra Printing, your A-Team, in Auburn, at the University Crossing Shopping Center, behind McAllister's Deli. Allegra-auburnal.com.
Auburn Links is your home for great golf. Just off exit 51, Auburn Links features a beautiful layout with Bermuda grass greens and rolling fairways, all right next to Ferguson's Mill Creek. For the last 20 years, Auburn Links has been providing Lee County with the best golfing experience around whatever your skill level may be. Looking for a fun family activity? Auburn Links has great group rates and membership specials for everyone, and their weekday rates now include Fridays. Be sure to follow Auburn Links on Facebook and Twitter for special deals and limited time offers. Auburn Links on Shell Toomer Parkway. Call 887-5151.
There's nothing like the signature honey glazed spiral sliced ham from Honey Bake. Hey, this is Crystal. From catering corporate meetings to providing box lunches for your next event, Honey Baked Ham is just what you're looking for, including full meals with sides and desserts. Don't forget to stop by our deli for lunch or dinner, open 10 to 7, Monday through Saturday. You don't have to wait for the holidays. Plan your Honey Baked feast today. Give us a call at 741-8411. Stop by and see us on Gateway Drive in Opelika, or order online at myhoneybakedstore.com. Honey Baked Ham, perfect every time. We guarantee it.
This segment of Sports Call is brought to you by Resource Natural Spring Water. Resource is 100% natural spring water with naturally occurring electrolytes that support a lifestyle of well-being. When you need to refresh, revitalize, and replenish, it's always Resource Natural Spring Water.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Sports Call, presented by Always Money. Andy Graham and Randy Lee here with you for 2 final segments. Don't forget, we're giving away 2 tickets to the Paul Feinbaum book signing there in Auburn, Opelika Books A Million on Friday, August the 8th. Still time to get your phone calls in or your tweets in. We're going to give away those 2 tickets in the next segment. You'll be able to take your picture with Paul Feinbaum. You'll be able to meet him. You'll get a free copy of his new book, My Conference is Better Than Your Conference. So be sure to do that. Interact with us any way you choose. Obviously, Auburn got underway 2-a-days today. They scrimmaged early in the morning. It was pretty uneventful, I think, more of a running type scrimmage. They got a lot of young guys into the fray to see what they do. I think Sean White ran a lot at quarterback, and we got to see a little bit of what he can do.
Yeah, and we heard a lot from the new running backs, and Rock Thomas and Cameron Petway, 2 of the new tailbacks there for Auburn, and Coach Malzahn did mention that they were hitting the hole a little bit quicker than needed, and probably that's a little bit of a timing issue that will be clearly taken care of with the talent of those 2 players. Also, great news on the recruiting front for Auburn today is John Tavius Johnson from Lincoln High School, a 6'2", 330-pounder, picks the Auburn Tigers over Alabama. And anytime we beat Alabama in anything, it can be checkers or chess or whatever it may be, we enjoy that. John Tavius Johnson, a big body, and you never can have too many of those, Andy.
This on the heels of Stephen Davis Jr. committing, big 6'4", 215-pound safety is what Auburn is recruiting him as out of South Carolina, big-time prospect. You look and you see, the people that Auburn is recruiting, they get bigger and bigger every year, it seems. Both of these guys have the physical tools, the physical body right now to be, look like they can make an impact at Auburn.
We had Justin Ferguson on with us, the managing editor of the Auburn Plainsman as well in the first hour, so we really appreciate him taking some time out. One of the biggest question marks going into the season, and I'm about to go back to the phone lines, but I'll bring it over to you, is special teams. New kicker, new punter, new punt returner. Chris Davis was unbelievably good this past year, and it's been quite a while since we've had, I'll point back to a Shane Wasden who every time he touched the football back at punt return, I thought he was going to break it. And Chris Davis had that feel several times last year, so I'll come back to you on that. Terry in Talladega, you're on Sports Call.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Terry. Good. How about you, buddy?
Doing good. I can't go that far back, Randy, but Roderick Hood was the guy that I could go back to far as Shane was. Certainly age-wise I could, but Roderick Hood I think had a lot of success there, the punt return and all that. But you're right about special teams, what you were just saying. So that's going to be a lot of fun to watch this year because it's a wholesale change: kicker, punter, kickoff return, punt return, everything. So that's going to be interesting to watch. Guys, the scrimmage today. I guess it was. Am I correct in saying? I'm just going based on what the local news here said a little while ago. Was it a lot of the younger guys today?
That's what we understand. Yes. Okay.
What do y'all think of Rock Thomas and how he's going to fit into this? How he's going to fit? I'm not. I don't think I'll come as anybody. I don't think I'll be a surprise in anything here. I'm not a big fan of true freshman running backs. Okay, not in the starting role, not in the role, the go-to role, the bell cow role. It just bothers me. And I watched Rock Thomas multiple times up here in Talladega at Oxford High School, not too far down the road, and he's injury prone. And I go back to what Tommy Tuberville got caught up in the Carnell Williams stuff, and I hope and I know Gus Malzahn's smarter than that. I'm not going to give it to him 40 times a game because he gets hurt. Carnell Williams got hurt right after that every time he carried the ball. So I'm not a big fan of that. Now, if he's the playmaker and he earns the job, shame on 2 seniors like Cameron Artis Payne and Corey Grant. But I'm not a big fan of true freshman running backs simply because I think somewhere during the season they're going to miss a block, they're going to lay the ball on the ground. And I know everybody's going to say, well, you got to play the best guy, and I understand that. But we all know that politics works its way into this stuff.
Terry, honestly, my opinion is if he's able to get on the field with the talent level that's currently there at Auburn, then he is special, because I think Corey Grant's special. I think Cameron Artis-Payne has the potential to do that as well. And Peyton Barber, after spring practice, was talked about as much as the two I just mentioned to begin with. So you got 3 running backs that have been at Auburn for quite a while, been in the weight program for Auburn for quite a while. And when I look at the size of Rock Thomas, only 193 pounds, not a small guy, but not up to the 205, the 225 that we see with Peyton Barber. I think he will get there, but I think it may take a little while. That's just my opinion.
Well, I mean, I 193 is certainly a good starting point. I mean, I like that. I like that size because, a year or two in the weight room. However, I'm not like I said again, I'm not going to just keep beating this to death, but I'm not a big fan of true freshman running backs, just simply because I know there are guys that are special, and I know that some callers are going to point those out, and there are guys that are special. But those guys are far and few between. We don't know if Rock Thomas is one of those guys. He's right. Randy, you're exactly right. If he performs in practice and he proves he's the guy, then then by all means. I hope that Gus Malzahn, and I'm pretty sure of this, I'm 99.9% sure, that he will go running back by committee. And if Rock Thomas is that guy that sticks out 5-6 games in the year, kind of like Trey Mason did last year, then I've got no problem with it. But I just wonder how it'll go. Like I said, I was wondering if this was a showcase of the true freshmen or the younger guys today.
Well, we'll have to see, and that's exactly what we heard, Terry. And don't be a stranger. We love to hear from you on all of our programming. You always have a great take, and please call us back in, okay?
Take care, guys.
Thank you, buddy. And let's go back to the phone lines. Another daily caller, and we really appreciate Shadow and Prattville for calling in.
Thank you all, and thank you for taking the call. Listen, I'm going to stick with the man that I've been talking about for some time. I'm going to go Peyton Barber as a dark horse. I believe he proved himself last year when he went through a red shirt. And I think that I even remember our running back from last year say that he was the best running back on the team then. And I believe I believe that to be the case, and I think that he's going to prove himself this year. I think he's going to win the starting job, and I'm gonna stick with that, and we'll just wait and see how it comes out. But I love Peyton Barber, and I think he's going to be the man.
Yeah, you referenced that. I do remember Trey Mason saying that. While on the team, that he thought Peyton Barber was the best overall running back Auburn had. And you bring up an excellent point. He played on the scout team last year, and from what I understand, he was the MVP of the scout team, and that's not an enviable job. You have to be extra tough. You have to go through so much more, and to get the starters ready to play the opposition. And I think he earned a lot of respect from his teammates. I think he earned a lot of respect from the coaches. So as far as that's concerned, it's all about, the opportunity he's going to get, and I think he'll get just as big an opportunity as Corey Grant and Cameron Artis-Payne. And if, like Randy said, the guy that starts, I believe will be the guy that's the best running back, because that's the way Gus Malzahn does things.
Well, I also will say that, I am not against I'm not against Payne. I just believe that I believe also that that number 20,
Corey Grant.
I think Corey he's proven himself to be a fighter in the weight room, and he's gained the weight as well. So I foresee that this thing may start out even, but I think it's going to end up Peyton Barber number 1. I think it's going to be Corey Grant number 2, and Cameron Artis-Payne number 3. War Eagle.
War Eagle to you, Shadow. We appreciate your phone call. And let's go back to the phone lines. Brett in Ellick City, you're on Sportscall.
What's going on, guys?
guys.
Good to hear from you, Brett. We'll have you back on the air tomorrow afternoon from 5 to 6 and back with us again on Friday. So what you got on your mind?
Well, looking forward to it, and you guys are doing a great job. I think we're all excited to be on now 4 days a week and, heading into football season. This is our prime time. I heard you say earlier about our passion for high school football, and I haven't been able to catch all the show today, but I don't know if y'all talked about John Tavius Johnson from Lincoln High School, but we went up to Lincoln a few years ago, Randy, in a jamboree game, and they've got a nice facility up there, a nice field, new school up there, but a big pickup for Auburn on the defensive side of things. I know since Gus Malzahn's been there, it's been a lot of offensive calls, but Auburn's doing the things they've got to do to shore up that defense and be a good defensive unit. And I'm going to tell you something. The day that Auburn puts a top 2 or 3 defense in the conference on the field along with that type of offense, good luck to everybody.
Absolutely. I don't think there's any question about that. We've all been starved for defense here at Auburn for so long now. You hear some guys talking about this year, they feel disrespected. Well, you give up 420 yards a game. Nobody really expects that much out of you. But it's a good thing for them to be so motivated and want to get better. And I think year 2 in a system, everybody knowing a little bit better about where they're going and where they need to be, Auburn has a great chance to be better this year.
Well, the only way you correct being disrespected is go out and play better. And look, I have heard till I'm tired of hearing it about how spread offense teams can't have a good defense. I just am not convinced of that. I think if you go out and you recruit top 4 and 5-star guys in those positions on the defensive front, linebackers, and in the secondary, it doesn't matter what type of offense you're running. I know you're probably gonna be more conditioned to it than anybody because you got to practice against it every day. So this misnomer that you can't have a good defense because your offense runs a spread, hurry-up style offense is a bunch of junk to me. I think Auburn is moving in the right direction. I think they have been depleted some over the past few years of defensive talent, but I think that's one of their main focuses. And they got good coaches on that side of the football, so I'm excited about it.
Well, Brett, look forward to hooking up with you again tomorrow for the Thursday edition of Sports Call. We got to get to our next break. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Sounds good. Maybe we'll sign another 4-star between now and then.
Yeah, I hope so. That would not be. I would not be adverse to that. We're going to go ahead and take our final break here, but we'll be back with one more segment on today's Sports Call presented by Auburn Urgent Care.
Ever wondered what LNG can do for you? The possibilities are endless.
LNG offers custom apparel and promotional products, any type of signage and vehicle wraps, web design and internet marketing, video production, paper products, and more. Visit us online at leemarketing.net. 3 locations to best serve you: Madison Street in Alexander City, Highway 280 in Dadeville, and Frederick Road in Auburn. LMG. Success by design.
Auburn Urgent Care, located on South College in Auburn and on Enterprise Drive in Opelika near Tigertown, offers convenient solutions to your health care and occupational medicine needs. We offer workman's compensation injury care, and we have a certified DOT medical examiner on staff. It's not about speed. It's about the quality of care. We're open 7 days a week, 7:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday, and 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on weekends in Auburn, and 8:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday in Opelika. Walk-ins are welcome. Auburn Urgent Care. 334-821-3221 in Auburn, or 334-749-9191 in Opelika. Visit us online at auburnurgentcare.com. Proud of our past, confident in our future. And for your primary health care needs, visit Family Health Clinic at 1456 Opelika Road in Auburn, 334-826-8951. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
It's always something. Your car needs a new tire, tuition is due. It's down to the wire. Cheerleading outfit, soccer shoes, football pass, or annual dues. Nellie's in band. She needs a trombone. Good golly Molly, you need a loan. Jimmy broke his arm. He needs a cast. You need money, and you need it fast. When life comes at you, Always Money can help you through. It's easy, convenient, friendly, and fast. You'll get the cash you need the day you need it. So stop by or visit alwaysmoney.com. How much can we loan you today? Borrowers often use payday loans over a period of months, which can be expensive.
From cruises and resorts to land tours and completely packaged vacations,
Ruth Eliza Anderson of Cruise Planners specializes in all types of travel and will create an unforgettable vacation just for you. Visit exotic destinations, Alaska, Europe, Hawaii, and more. Visit exclusivecruiseplanners.com or call Ruth Eliza Anderson of Cruise Planners today, toll free at 844-722-6342.
Cheap, cheap, little cheaper say. It's the summer sale you've been waiting for. It's the summer clearance event at Carl Gregory Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Columbus. New Ram truck, Chargers, Dart, Journeys, 200s, Grand Caravan, Wranglers, Cherokees, Grand Cherokee, and many more have been drastically discounted for this annual event. Get new 2014 Ram 1500 starting at just $21,488, or a new 2014 Dodge Avenger for only $14,990. Even get a new 2014 Jeep Wrangler for just $24,995. Carl Gregory Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Columbus even has the all-new 2015 Chrysler 200 in stock. 0% financing available. 0 payments for 90 days. Want more? Bring us your trade, and Carl Gregory will try to pay you top dollar for it. You might even be able to get more than you ever thought possible for your trade. Don't miss the annual summer clearance event going on now at your locally owned dealer. Carl Gregory Chrysler Dodge Jeep Rams, 2 giant locations. Victory Drive and the North Lake Auto Complex. Prices after all applicable rebates. All prices exclude tax, tag, title, and limit law fee. Interest, if any, accrues from date of purchase on approved credit. Not available on internet pricing. Cheap.
Looking for the most comprehensive sports show in Alabama? Catch Sports Blitz Live from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Tuesday night. Join Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, and Luke Robinson as they discuss the latest in high school, collegiate, and nationwide athletics. Tune in to FM Talk 95.9, watch live on ACN Charter Channel 80, or catch the live stream at sportsblitzlive.com. That's sports with a Z. That's Sports Blitz Live, Tuesday, 7 to 9 p.m.
Welcome back, everyone, to the final segment of the Wednesday Sports Call here. Andy Graham and Randy Lee with you for just a few more minutes on today's show. It's been a good one. We have found a way to give away these 2 tickets to Paul Feinbaum book signing. Do we have those names? Have we drawn those names out of the hat yet?
I've been Clayton currently, and Justin will send that over to me shortly. 888-9-TIGER-9, 334-887-3401. About 3 or 4 more minutes left. On our social media feed, Seth4AU has won that ticket, that VIP ticket, as well as a book to the Paul Feinbaum signing. So congratulations to you out there. And shortly, Justin will let me know who won on all the phone calls that we received today, and we really appreciate all of you out there. We're excited about continuing the long, strong tradition of Sports Call here, and it is built by the phone calls like Terry and Shadow and some of those guys have been calling in for quite a long time.
Randy, I want to get your thoughts on one thing. It was kind of a big story here lately. The San Antonio Spurs hired the first female as a paid full-time assistant, Becky Hammond, who was a WNBA player. She's actually she's going to retire and move straight over into the coaching ranks of the NBA. We've seen, obviously, with the proliferation of the WNBA, more women becoming more involved in athletics like that, especially professional basketball. But this is a pretty big step moving forward here. Do you think we'll ever see the day where a female coaches an NBA team?
I think the right coach and the right program got the first woman hired. And if Greg Popovich and the San Antonio Spurs can't pull this off, nobody can. Because I don't think anybody would question that team has been coached as good as any in our lifetime. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
I mean, you can throw Phil Jackson out there, but honestly, when I point to a team that I watch, an actual team on the court that maybe doesn't have the very best player on the continent, I mean, Phil Jackson's won some where he had the best player.
Everyone. He won with
but San Antonio has been in the mix since Popovich has been there, and so for him to step out and to hire the first woman, I think it's a good time to do it.
It's a whole organization all the way down from the top. I mean, you see players, free agents come in, they take less money to play there. The whole organization in San Antonio is run better than anyone probably in sports. I mean, it's amazing what they've been able to do.
Shadow, you're our winner for the phone calls. Thanks for all your phone calls out there. You can call back into the station. They'll give you instructions on how to get your VIP pass. If you can't go out there, if Seth or Shadow cannot make it, please just let us know that, and we'll try to pass that along to some others that have either called in or been a part of our social media. Seth for AU, our producer Justin, he'll get in touch with you on Twitter to let you know how to get. Have you seen some of the pictures of this book signing for Paul Feinbaum? It's unreal. He has become, I don't know who to compare him to. I mean, in the last decade, from when I was listening to him on 960 AM in Birmingham, and he had an outstanding show, but it was caller driven and it was funny, and he did a great job. He was he had the right people calling in, and most of the time it was entertaining. But to see where he has moved in just the last 3 or 4 years, amazing. But I think that football is moving in that direction, and SEC football is just getting bigger and bigger each year also.
Well, this part of the country, and especially when college football is concerned, there is an element of love for your team, certain team, that is different than anywhere else. There is also a level of hate in this part of the country when it comes to college football that is different than anywhere else. And he has been able to capitalize on that and somehow morph that into one of the most successful radio programs, whatever empires as you want to call it. He has found a way and understood to balance the love and the hate in a way that it just works.
It does. And look, I'm one of those that at times he can frustrate me, but most of the time I tune in and it's of interest, and he's got good guests. I'm one of those like good guests. Justin Ferguson was on with us today. He added something to the program, I think. He talked about some players that you and I haven't brought up. We've mentioned it to our listening audience out there. We've had a lot of ex-players on the program in the last 6 to 8 months. Terry Henley is one that has been mentioned to me more than others because the interview that you had with Terry and his personality alone causes Auburn people to smile. And we want to have more of that, and we plan to have more as football season gets closer.
Definitely. That we always would love to have ex-players on from whatever generation. I have an interest in that and Auburn history and love to talk about that. That was two of the best interviews that I most enjoyable, that and Dick Schmalls. I really just enjoyed those two more than most. That's going to do it for us today on the Wednesday edition of Sports Call. We'll be back with you tomorrow for Justin Clayton, Randy Lee. My name is Andy Graham saying so long for now. We'll talk again soon.
What is LNG? It's a team of professionals with the tools to create a successful marketing plan to help your business grow. LNG has successful designs that get results for the individual and the business. We provide signs of all types, screen printing and embroidery, promotional products, web design, audio and video production, and much more. LNG has 3 locations to serve you in Alex City, Dadeville, and Auburn-Opelika area. Call us at 888-533-6758.
It's always something. Your car needs a new tire, tuition is due. It's down to the